Hey, good morning to y'all. It's your old buddy Grandpaw Koyote, toasting you from Crestone, Colorado. Here with this big old cup of coffee. Getting myself awakened and alive here this morning. And gee whiz, here it is, 20-something of May. Not sure exactly what day it is, but 20-something of May here in 2013. And babies, it's been rough lately. These past few days, these past few weeks, but especially these past few days, man, you know, all of our old habits are being changed. They're being challenged by our very own heart, the consciousness inside of us that many of us didn't even know we had. And babies, there's a lot of clearing going on. A lot of letting go of old habits, old conceptions, old ideas about how things work. And for the most part, these are what we'd call sub-psychological tendencies, behaviors, attitudes. Everything we've held in our life, all the little defenses, oh man, that we've built up since we were little kids to deal with this world around us, because we're softer, gentler kind of people and really have great difficulty adjusting to the brutality in this world, the hardness, because we're essentially soft. So a lot of us have adapted behaviors of toughness to kind of keep the world at bay so that that son of a guns can't get to us. But they get to us anyway. Because they is us and us is they. And we've got a lot to learn together. And sometimes it can be pretty bitter. You've got a lot of bitterness inside. I don't care how peaceful and tranquil you've become, how much enlightenment. If you look honestly inside yourself, there's still a fair share of bitterness there, no matter how suppressed you may have made it. And if you've made it suppressed, I guarantee you got some kind of illness that's come up as a way to express that bitterness, because you can't do it openly. You hurt people that way. But many of us are becoming like a fountain of emotion. We're so sensitive here. So I'm kind of here coaching you into it a bit this morning as I go through it myself. Now, I got a shitload of darkness loaded into me when I was a tiny little kid, about 3-4 years old. And I've carried this for a long, long time. That seems hardly like 20 days. It's just gone by so fast. And man, in the beginning it was difficult. Oh, it's always difficult. Shoot. It's always a little bit extreme. But babies, when you got a load of light, when you got a load of love, you're going to have that load of darkness to go with it. It's like you can be Jesus over here and Lucifer over here, that kind of thing, you know what I mean? And we're like divided inside. We feel invaded, like we got aliens or demons or something like that going on. What I realized quite some time ago is this inside of myself that I've carried so darkly for so long, and have somehow managed to live through and come beyond so that I could live in my more enlightened side at times. Well, because I managed to do that, now I'm taking this darker side inside that some of you would consider an invasive force, but which I see now as a perfect part of myself, expressing itself imperfectly, yeah, or seems to be. That's always the cue here, man. Seems to be, seems to be, seems to be. Babies, we've been sold a bill of goods. Again, so what I'm trying to describe to you is the essential harmony that's being created inside of ourselves now, which is already there which is the song of life, singing constantly in joy. Now, when we're dealing with this in the realms of light and dark, emotion and passion and things like that, it doesn't seem so harmonious. So what we're changing is our perception of our very selves. And this is why a lot of you are beginning to panic. Many feel like they're dying, even as they're coming back to life. It's the strangest thing. But in your heart, there's an opening that hasn't been there before. I mean, yeah, you've managed to get through it. We've all managed to get through it and still find a heart. When I say all, I mean all of us of this particular spirit family that are working here with the essential energies of Mother Earth and Father Sky to raise it all together and combine it in the Sun, S-U-N. Yeah. Bring this earth back to life. Because what we're seeing here now, as grand and as beautiful as it is but a mere 10% representation, kind of what truthfully is. So now, all these little behaviors inside that we've developed as protection and security and the way to get love and wealth and so on and so forth, the way to get by in this life, all of these are no longer reliable to us. And most of them, like I say, have gone on in sub-psychological levels. So it's like the bottom's falling out of all our behaviors. The basis, the very basis of our behaviors, all of them. Kiss and tell, whatever. It's all falling out of us. We're falling through. But what we fallen into? What's inside dissolving away? What is causing so much panic inside? What's causing these huge outbursts of emotion, these swings and levels we're going through? Goodness gracious. It's like we're tiny little kids again, in diapers, throwing tantrums, and shit on the walls and stuff like that. Holy cow. It can get quite ugly. But you got to recognize it's been ugly for a long time. And idling along inside of you and roaring out of you when it gets a chance. And totally fucking up your reality. It hasn't been protection or security. Not one damn bit. What's it been? A pain in the ass. That's what it's been. We've had to deal with an unreasonable world that truthfully looks at us with eyes of hatred, that hates those that are loving. Yet the truth is not that at all. That's the circumstance. That's the perception we've lived in. And so we develop these protections for ourselves. Angry outbursts especially, designed to keep others away, at bay. Designed to make them fearful enough, they try to be honest with you and so forth. Doesn't always work, and now it doesn't work at all. The way we attract and allure one another when we're getting into that good old coupling stage, you know, that's changing too, babies. The very basis of our romantic attraction for one another, I'm sorry to say, but is a crock of horse shit. And is fallen away. Now what's coming to take its place? What are we falling into as the floor dissolves underneath us? A place of light and wonder. A place where the heart truly, and when I speak of the heart, I'm speaking of the consciousness inside, truly takes control of our lives. And we allow it. And we no longer have to follow it or be intuitive. All we got to do is be real. So as you see it, get into meditative states if you must. But find the means to let go of whatever is holding you back. Tremendous washing out is happening in your life. If you're in a dishonest situation of any sort, and by that I mean living in that subliminal way where the basic element of illusion is your life, when you begin to recognize that, just let it go. Embrace yourself with love and respect. Inside of yourself, give all parts of yourself, especially this darker one, that which it needs. Look at the ancient longing inside, because it's coming up big time now. And that's why so many of you are trying to bang each other's brains out. You know what I mean? Big increase in that kind of activity in this world. But where's it getting you? The same place it always has, except that now it's providing a certain amount of relief for you that you couldn't get from it before. So even though your meanderings, your hooking ups with intimate partners may not be the best thing for you, it's leading you in a good way. It's teaching you what's not real, so that you can find what is real. Now you got to think about these two little words, is real, you know. And then you got to think about all the ancient prophecies and so forth that so much of these bullshit churches and everything is based on. What is real? What is real? That's the challenge we're facing here. To find our truthful reality. But the only way we can do it is by letting go of that which is not real. That which we've lived in, that has seemed so solid and supportive of us, yet is such a crock of bullshit and has caused nothing but consternation and pain here. Though we do have our relieving moments, our special moments, where we find our little bits of joy and begin to realize that's what life is all about. It has nothing to do with the sickness that's in society that we call money and economy, that's created such a hostile and heartless environment. Has nothing to do with all the secrets the government's holding back from you. You know every damn one of them. They can't hide anything. Not the government, not the corporations, not anybody. All of your bullshit lies are being revealed by the revelation of truth in this reality. As people see through, all of us, myself included. God, I weep for myself. I've been such a bad boy lately, but such a good boy at the same time. I never lose consciousness, even when I'm in my angriest frickin' states. But I sure do pull some whammies. The stuff's got to come out of you. Try not to hurt anybody around you, but the stuff's got to come out. You got to see through it. Let it happen. Get yourself in a contained environment where, you know, like inside your house, your boudoir, wherever you happen to want to be. Out in nature's better. But rectify yourself. That means let it wash away. Let the baby have its tantrum. Because it needs to do this. It's really pissed off that it got tossed into a fucked up world like this and had to deal with heartlessness and cruelty all of its frickin' days. Wouldn't you be upset? Hell yes, you are. But you're also completely in love with every bit of this life, including the angry part. So babies, whatever emotion you're feeling or going through, that's the one you're through with now. And it's time to move on. Recognize the tendency to cling on to it and try to keep it real. Even when you start to realize it's an imagined thing. Watch yourself grow. Almost like on automatic pilot. And yeah, it's not going to be easy. But you can make it a lot easier on yourself. Staying in a harmonious place. Tuning in with the third eye and the palms of the open hands as often as you possibly can. And this brings forth from inside of you a smoother transition where the changes won't be so shocking because you're prepared by spirits that surround you in little stages and steps for the bigger revelations. And that's how truth comes forward without shocking you right out of your body. Many people have experienced such things and have died because they couldn't accept the truth in the moment it revealed itself to them. These days you're far stronger than that, and you don't have to let it go. But this is the key to the transitions we're going through. Third eye, open palms of the hand. Now if you haven't heard it before, go listen to my video called The Keys. Once again, Thekeys, The Keys. Go watch that. It's got the basis in there, and it's not orthodoxy. It's not anything you have to follow. It's just something to help you wake up, to find some methods for yourself. Because each person is so individual, there is no one prescribed way. How about that? That's why religions and churches don't work. That's why governments don't work. There isn't any one path for all. We can't homogenize ourselves together by rules and regulations. We can only do it by accepting what's truthfully in our tiny little hearts, which are larger than the universe and not so tiny at all. Babies, I love you. I'm just going to share a little calming energy with you right now through this video so that you can experience it if you haven't already and know what essential peace is and accept purity in yourself, in your heart. See that it is truthfully there. Guess what? In all parts of yourself, all parts of ourself. Every bit of it is made, designed from, employed by love. Whatever that is. Love. Truthfully, the biggest mystery. We know what it's not. It's not romance. It's not heartache. Yet it's all of these things. It's what creates. It's the love that designates us to go forward and be who we are. Become a tree, a flower, a garden, a person, a human person, a dog person, a deer person. You know, whatever it is we are. That's the love that brought us into being. And when we behold the beauty of this place and the beauty and wonder even of ourselves, that's what we're seeing, is that love that creates, that comes from the essential mother's heart, which is pure inside of you, purer than driven snow, purer than sunlight, purer than clear rain. It's as pure as it can possibly be. And its intention is one thing, to lovingly bring forward life, to experience its own self, its loving self, through creation. That's you. That's me. That's all the rest of us. It's everybody. It's everything. And this is the view you're moving into. So don't be too worried when you see divine revelation. Because it's about time you understood just what the heck it is, man. It's about time you let it in and let yourself become the truthfully divine person that you are. That God essence of love is in everybody. Great Spirit rules within you. And that's love. That's what real love is. And we're just beginning to experience it. So these words may fall on some deaf ears out there, but the energy of them is awakening you. And today's the day. Now I'm going to give you about 30 seconds of calmness here. I love to share, because you're my babies, I'm your baby. We're all in this together. This big old playpen we call Mama Earth. And it's a beautiful place of being babies. And we're about to find that out. Don't be afraid of the government. Don't be afraid of liars. Don't be afraid of people that take away from you. they're about to give back in a big way, just like you are. Everything, as we go through this process, finds its equity, its place in this reality, and naturally assumes that. Includes you. It's a hell of a change. The biggest, most sweeping change the earth has ever experienced. Bigger than the end of the dinosaur age. Bigger than the end of Atlantis. Bigger than the beginning of life. Because this is where life truthfully begins. Our experience in the darkness, for the most part, is over. It clings on. And through this love that you feel inside of yourself, will it find its very own heart too, and once again become a harmonious part of you, and no longer argue and condemn you or any others. It's time to let go of our illusions, our fantasies, that we could ever gain advantage over anybody by doing anything. There's no way. It's not going to work. And I'll tell you this, the harder you try to take advantage of others, continue that attitude, because you feel so damned insecure, the harder you try, the worse it's going to get. Until the bubble bursts, and you're going to feel it. It's going to be grittier than hell. I've been going through it. Everybody must give up that which they've held on to for so long now. The illusion and lie of the synthetic love that says you must hate. Think about it, guys. It's awesome. And I'll talk to you here in a few days. Papa loves you. And don't forget the gathering of the Vibe Tribe, June 14, 15, 16 here in Crestone, Colorado. We got some great music coming. We're going to experience some of the highest times you've ever known. And if you haven't got your tickets yet, get online to the link for Eventbrite and order those tickets now. Because frankly, I need the money. I got to get this thing going. I got to fly some people in and so forth. So, babies, if you can, get on there and order those tickets. You can pay any price you feel for them. It includes 3 days of camping out under the stars, primitive camping. It includes all the music, all the love we're going to share. You know, it's the thing. So, if you get the chance, come on by. And get a ticket while you're at it, or make a donation, whatever, you know. But help us out here, babies. Because we are you, and you are us, and we're all in this together. If you're in the vibe, you're in the tribe, and you're invited. And if you're not in the vibe, you're still in the tribe. And it's time to get the vibe. You're invited. Get on down here to Crestone, Colorado, June 14, 15, and 16. And let's dance and party and prove to ourselves that life can be nothing but love all the way around. Going to do some UFO watching. We might even invite a couple in if they feel friendly. You never know what might happen. Just get on down here. Let's have some fun. Experience life. Let's let go of all this anxiety and shit we've been hanging on to. Our reaction to the cruelty even in ourselves, you know. Let it go, babies. Come and play. And let's party ourselves back into our essential selves. And you'll leave here changed forever and connected eternally once again with the love and family that surrounds and fills you. The days of the lone wolf, the coyotes, it's gone. Now, as you notice, you're being called to work more closely with others. And not just one or two. Think about this. Watch what happens in your life. You may be strong. And you may be able to do it yourself no matter what. But the no matter what just caught up with you, babies, and you need some help, just like I do. So I'm asking you guys for help with the gathering of the Vibe Tribe. And the first essential part of it is a little bit of money. Toss it this way, please. So we can get over it and not have to deal with money ever again. It's time. Babies, it's time humanity realized that it's far more beneficial to treat each other with respect and dignity than it is to sit there and size each other up like vampires and figure out how much we can take from each other. Don't look to take advantage of anyone, and don't let anyone take advantage of you. Lovingly refuse these situations again, as much as you possibly can. But most of all, be kind to yourself. Let yourself go through what you have to. Don't hold it against yourself. Many of us have. We've held it against ourselves for a long fucking time, babies. And it's time to let that shit go. To see past it, in other words. Because you can't let it go until you do see past it. But these behaviors are busily disproving themselves. The darkness is busily disproving itself. And all the secrecy, skullduggery, every bit of it that's gone on with it is being exposed and done away with. Now, isn't that awesome? I keep telling you, peace is at hand, babies. And you rock. And I love you. And so does my little doggies, too, sitting back there waiting patiently for the old man to get off of this phone and get on with life and get them outdoors. Catch you in a little while, kids. Papa loves you.